Well, hi, we're here in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and we're just reflecting on a fantastic event that occurred yesterday, which was the Faith for the Future event, looking at the Connected Generation report, in particular what the report is saying about the state of faith with millennials, but particularly here in Malaysia. And I have with me Abel and Cheryl, who are both from here in Malaysia. And we're just going to spend a few moments just reflecting on the event, but also what the event has said to the church here in Malaysia.
Yeah, I think it's felt like an immense privilege to have some research coming out of our region, our humble part of the world. Every time we talk about millennials, it's always with a reference to North Americans. It's been quite Western-centric. And I think for the first time now, it's felt quite groundbreaking because we can actually refer to some local data and reliably say this is how Asian millennials look like.
I get excited when I enter a church and when about to share a message, then I see many young adults there. I get excited. But then sometimes when I go to a church, how come where are the young adults? So I do concern. And I have peers that we study together in seminary that would say young adults ministry is one of the hardest ministry in the church. So this data really has given us the solid evidence, validated what we have been thinking.
What we've just had is the beginnings of a meaningful conversation.
Yes.
The data gives us a bit of a platform, on which to stand and have conversations about what can we do for the Malaysian church, and can we agree on at least the problem statement so that we can start talking about the solutions together. And so, to me, I think the big win of this event is that it's allowed us to be constructive about the problem. It's allowed us to be a bit more collaborative about the solutions. And it's actually built a little bit more, of self-awareness within the church as well.
There are young adults or people who study at university, the collegians. That may be the first time they heard about the gospel, because in Malaysia, majority are people of other faith. So for them, the first time to hear about the gospel, and then when they receive it, they have to put consideration, because they have to sacrifice certain parts of their life, their trust with their family to accept Christ. So for them to make that decision, they have put in due consideration, and once they make it, they want to go all the way. Many young people in Malaysia, they are the first person to receive Jesus.
There's the resilient disciples who, in a sense, are biblical Christians. They're actually doing the stuff. And one of the interesting things is that you sort of go through the data and you think, all these people have left, those people are not coming to church, those people are in the pew, but they don't really believe it. And then you get to the resilient disciples, and it's like, okay, here's the people. As a pastor, that's what gets me excited.